And we're live on YouTube. So anybody that subscribes to me on YouTube and ring the bell, which if you haven't subscribed and ring the bell, you should subscribe, ring the bell for notifications when we go live. You'll get the notification. All right, it is 5 o'clock. So let's get started, shall we? If you're new here, make sure to let me know in the chat, either on YouTube or in Zoom. We're live on both. And it's one show. So if you're in YouTube and you don't see comments from Zoom, that's okay. If you're in Zoom and don't see comments from YouTube, it's okay. I'll try to answer questions both places and we'll jump into it. So this is the appreciation webinar, the 30 minutes of awesome, we call it. We're going to cover 3 big topics today. The market pullback coming. We're in it. I don't know. We'll talk about it. And then, as always, we take requests and I'll cover your stocks. And then 3, I got an offer for you to meet me live here in Knoxville. So we'll go over that at the end. Make sure you stick around for that link and the offer. So this is the World's Fair site. It's been redone a little bit. It's the Knoxville Amphitheater that was at the World's Fair site. There is the little tent, and they've kind of fancied up the pond and stuff that's there. The World's Fair Sun Sphere is right there on kind of to the right, slightly right behind my name and the webinar title there. So the 1982 World's Fair that was in Knoxville, this is what's left of it, I guess. Call it the World's Fair site, and there's not much left. They've torn down most of the buildings. This amphitheater is kind of a little stage, and I saw George Clinton there and a few other bands on the lawn behind there. So it's a fun little concert venue. All right. So moving on here, let's look at some charts, shall we? And there we go. Pop over. And I don't have my fancy S&P 500 chart today, but we came up and hit a resistance right here. So I need to draw a fib line that comes from here to here to here. Yeah, right there. So we're meeting some resistance right there. Got a little pullback the last 2 days. Yesterday was like a 50-point pullback off the high we made, and then continuing down a little bit today. So we could pull down to this 4,000 level. All right, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. We don't really want to have it overlap the 3950 area down here, this blue line. Like if we come all the way down to that blue line, we might be putting in jeopardy more continuation on the bullish side. So I am kind of expecting at a minimum 4070, which comes in right over here, 4070 right there. So minimum right in there, and 4020, or actually I guess it's right at 4,000 is where an ideal kind of retrace comes in. So looking for this thing to pull back right to here at a minimum, maybe to as far as this area down here around 4,000. Remove some of the other junk off of here so we can talk about it. So looking for this kind of pullback. Now, CPI and the PPI are coming out in the next couple of days. This could be a catalyst for this decline right here, and then we can bounce and run higher. So after we do that pullback, I am expecting it to go like this. So that's what we got up next. What's the criteria? It's a fib level. It's the 382 retrace of the wave 3. So this is a potential wave 3 right here off of this target zone right here. Pulling that in here. I've got to turn on a couple fib lines because I don't use the 382 and 236 very often. Right there. So 236 coming in right there, 4070. Turn these lines off here and make it a little bit easier. I'm not going to delete, huh? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So this level right here, the minimum pullback, that's where 4070 comes from. This level right here, that's where 4,000 comes from. That's a 382. You can see I had those arrows right on the money. Just numbers I had memorized. I've been telling people all day. So that's the minimum. That's the more typical. And then if we break this line right here, which was the top of 1, if this is a 1, 2, 3, this would be a 4. Need it to hold in this area, and 5 would put us up here around 4,300. So, all right. So that's the, bearishness is, I guess, limited. But if we do get below this 39.50 area, then odds switch, and we probably are going to make a lower low than we made back here in June. So if we get below that line, we're probably coming down here. And it's probably going to go more like all the way down. Well, we'll get to there. That's not going to happen before next week. So if we do, for some reason, get below there, I'll have targets for you. There's lots of fib lines down here, though. So this is the game plan the rest of the week here. If we do pop down there really, really quickly, tomorrow, Thursday, then we hold there and start bouncing. The upside is 4,300, right where this oval is right here. And that could take us into September to move on up out to that level. I was looking for 4,300 around Labor Day, and right now it looks like we might get it maybe a little later than Labor Day. So that's the path right now. Also holding us in was this 144 EMA. It came up, found resistance there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days now, 7 trading days. So I do expect this retrace. Whether it's this would be very shallow, this would be more typical, but somewhere in there, I expect this retrace. Any questions on that before we move on? All righty. Nasdaq, same sort of situation. I'm expecting a retrace. This 12,880 level would be minimum, and 12,550 more typical. We're almost down to the 880 today. Getting a little deeper right here. Of course, we can come all the way down to this kind of level without really invalidating the bullish setup at this point, which is around 12,189. So that's what we got. It's the game plan for Nasdaq. All right, Russell, not really seeing a pullback yet, but same sort of situation as the others. Turn off this. We'd be down in here around 187, this 1847 level, excuse me, for an ideal pullback right there. Oil, testing the downtrend line, still hasn't made any significant progress higher. Looks like it's going to roll on down and touch my target area. But this can be complete right here. This lower low that we made back here in April, this qualifies as completion. Like, this can be done anytime now. So watching for a reversal for the next leg higher. I do expect a little push lower, but right now that risk, the risk of moving up would negate any short that I wanted to put on right now. So right now I'm looking for a bottoming action right here, and it could go as low as 75, but I think we're working on a bottom right now in oil, and we're going to make a next run higher. Gold has been interesting, trying to, it's been having a little trouble breaking through that trend line, held in with the 144 EMA, gets above that, back above, let's say 1830. Back above 1830 and holds up there, doesn't just spike up and reverse, then we can start being bullish again on gold. So that's just going to be developing. It can still make one more lower low very easily at this point. Came up a little bit shy of my 1620 that I was looking for. Alrighty, jumping over to, if the keyboard's going to work here. There we go. For whatever reason, it doesn't like laying on the desk here. So natural gas getting a little bit of pullback here. tried to break higher, got rejected. Doesn't negate anything. Still a possible 1-2 type setup for a run higher. You know, of course, it's going to need a little bit of retrace. It can't just run all the way to the target without a little bit of retrace. So something like around 730 would still put us the next leg higher right into that 15 area. And we can even pull on down all the way back into the 650 area and still meet this target up here. I'm still long out to January on natural gas. My preferred play is UNG. Looking for that move up into this 40 area right there. I do have a LNG play going, and it is looking a bit more bullish, looking for a breakout above. And we've come up and found resistance there. 1, 2, 3, 3 and kind of 4 times, 2 real quick here. We can break out. We're going to probably run really hot, really quickly up to this 160 level, maybe as high as 170. So those are my natural gas plays right now. Looking at, there's Bitcoin. So crypto kind of hanging out in this channel right here. Expect it to continue this for now. Just kind of a slow grind higher. We're going to be kicking off, September kind of marks 18 months out from the halving event. That's halving, HALVING, halving. And Bitcoin in particular tends to run, say, in the time frame of 12 to 18 months before halving. Now, they have kind of locked in a date. It's looking like September 19th is going to be the Ethereum merge, where we go from Ethereum 1.0 to 2.0, proof of work to proof of stake. So that's going to be those are kind of coming together. Both events kind of could kick off the next rally in crypto. So that could be the catalyst that kicks off the run. And we could run in Bitcoin all the way into the next halving. It'll probably run into, halving will be roughly March 2024. So we'll probably run into late 2025, maybe early 2026 before we start into the next correction. So I do feel like proof of stake for Ethereum is a high risk event. If they mess up anything, it's going to take down a whole lot of cryptos with them. So it is high risk to merge those chains. All the other proof of stake networks have had to shut down multiple times to correct errors in the proof of stake chains and correct problems. So I do see it as a major risk. So just know that's out there. Now, Ethereum coming up to this resistance zone, find a little trouble getting through. We can break through this orange zone, get back above 2150. We can see some higher prices there. I have 2 plays for the proof of stake merge. That's because the miners get kicked off of the network basically. And Ethereum Classic here is a simple move over for miners. You can already see it's been outperforming Ethereum and Bitcoin in the last couple of weeks. And then my other sleeper play would be RVNUSD. This one's not quite as exciting. Find a little resistance right here at the 144 EMA, but it is also outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum as we come into this halving event. So those are 2 to keep an eye on. So yeah, you've got till September 19th. I don't know that it's going to go crazy. Like I said, if they mess it up, one little oopsie, it messes up everything that's built on Ethereum. So yeah, I'm cautious. I did reduce my exposure to Ethereum directly, and but I do still mine Ethereum. So anyway, moving on. All right, time for requests, unless you got something else you wanted to ask me there. So request. What's the risk? I mean, it can, major pullback if they mess it up. So, all right, REV. Yeah, that's not much to work on that chart. Popping above the while it is above the 144 EMA, we found resistance at that prior high right there and consolidating right under it. So it needs to get a trend. This 144 EMA being flat for the last year is not overly bullish right now. You need to see some kind of trend that actually takes us into higher highs. So Mara is not a Ethereum miner, so it's a Bitcoin miner. MARA. All right, whole bunch of requests all of a sudden. All right, SMH. I've been covering that one. Oh, we found resistance right at the 144 EMA, this prior high, and pulled back. Now this one's very similar to what I was talking about on both S&P 500 and Nasdaq, although we could see a back test of that trend line all the way back down to this area around 211. So when we break out, we tend to back test before we get continuation. So that's SMH right there off of YouTube. All right. Let's see. PLTR. Yeah, found resistance at the 144 EMA and pulled back. That's so far we got this trend line of the lows kind of breaking down below it. We need to pop back above it, otherwise lower prices there. Yeah, obviously this didn't happen up here. Thought we'd get a little more bullish, but we haven't. So this actually happened down here. Now we're pulling back, and if we cannot break back above these lows again, can't do that, then we're destined to be lower lows here. All right. Moving on. Cardano, no thoughts right now. If you want to know my deeper thoughts on crypto, you can join my crypto power plays, jeffreytrader.com/CPP. So Arch, yeah, that broke the 144 EMA, not looking overly bullish for the short term here. Looking like we may see a deeper retrace. Next level of support, I'd be looking for probably right there. Oh, it's already hitting it. So if it can't stay above that, it's going to retest the bottom of this around 113. All right. I know there's some fibs on here. Kind of annoying. That's what we got right now. All right. Dave. That looks bad. That's going down. I mean, nothing to look at there. It's going lower. Again, that's a downtrend. Looking lower. Maybe breaking above, but those two candles are not green, so that's a downtrend looking lower. Tesla. Yeah, we got a nice break above the 144 EMA. Came back to test it here. Looking for, this is the roadmap line too. If you've been here previous weeks, 144 EMA, same thing as the roadmap line. Do have a bunch of drawings on here. We broke firmly out of that. Broke above that. So back testing this 144 EMA. I expect a bounce, and getting above this high right over here is the bullish case. Do own shares and some calls on Tesla. And the bigger resistance going to come in the downtrend line of the highs, lower high, lower high. Need to come up here and test it. Get on through to get to higher prices. 1,500 has been my long-term target. Of course, they're going to split that, so it'll be 500 after the split. All right. AMZN, nothing changed there, really. Slightly broke through the roadmap line. Probably come down, retest it, which is looking like what it's working on. We're going to hold it. We bounce. If we don't hold it, we'll probably fill this gap back down to the bottom of that box. cost. Yeah, still looking for that one to make its next leg down. Does not have an overly bullish setup right now. It gets back below the roadmap line here. It's going to probably head down to this 353 level. Now, if it does get cranking here, breaks the prior high, then something else going on. But right now, not overly bullish on that just because that was one big wave down. That's a kind of a three-wave correction up. And that one can easily extend down again. CRSP. And that one trying to get bullish, breaking above the 144 roadmap line. Where did the arrow come from there? That was kind of popped out of nowhere. So we stopped right there on the 1618. Bounced up. This is not overly bullish looking, constructive price action. So it's definitely gonna have to break back above here before I would get long. Otherwise, this could retrace back down here, in here again, in here again. The downside come back to here. If that were to bounce there, that would be bullish to me. So, all these charts need a bunch of work. WKHS. Yeah, that one's not overly bullish. That's a lower high yet again. Lower high. Lower high. Looking like it's probably gonna make a lower low. And ride. That one's not looking overly bullish either. Bounce right off of that. Right back below the 144 EMA, which suggests we see a lower low. MPC. Yeah, it bounced off the roadmap line. Oh, random link. We're looking for that one to break back above this area right here around 100, 101. Get extension out to 126, 127. Right up here. And that would be the extension. So, and then Mara, yeah. Final resistance at the 144 EMA. That's what's happening. Came up just a little shy. Expected to push on up. Final resistance, pull back, or it can finally start the next run. And NVDA. Yep. Found some resistance, pulling back. Should find some support in this area. If it gets below that, it's probably going to go down to this target area. FLSR. Nope. FSLR. Get my fingers right. Yeah, it's a good move right there. Nice big gap. And you see we've got this high to contend with over here. Got to break that high. Upside 148 and 189 for resistance if we can break out. Already. AMD. It's back testing right now. So trend line of the highs, back testing. As long as it holds, that's bullish. If it breaks back below, it's probably going lower low, down to the targets down here. Nope, that didn't work. Oh. right there. It's back testing the trend line. That's a classic pattern. Back test the trend line, hold and go, break below, get a deeper retrace, possibly lower low. 57 will be my downside target if expectation right there. It does also have the trend line of lows coming up through here. So starts getting below that trend line of the highs, and then below this trend line of lows. Watch out for that move down. All right. Who are the Ethereum miners? I'll leave that up to you to go look up, or you can join my crypto power plays. HON, Honeywell, that's positive, not overly, like we're not making higher highs yet. Still got to break above here. Be making higher highs. So initial thing we needed to do, get above the 144 EMA. Now we got to beat that level. All right. Next up, CROX. Yeah, found resistance there. Again, a lot of these are the same pattern over and over. Get below that trend line right there. Probably heading down. SOXX. Found resistance. Couldn't break the 144 EMA, getting some retrace. Like I said, on AMD just now. NVDA before that, I think it was. Or maybe it's SMH before that. Need to hold that. Get below that line. It's probably going lower low. And this one does have a little bit of, yeah, coming right down to that trend line right there. Getting below there. Last ditch effort would be to hold in this area. Otherwise, we're going to make a lower low. Forward. Higher prices, baby. Short term, it's probably going to retest the 144 EMA right here. A little bit of retrace before it can push higher. And if it doesn't hold the 144 EMA, it could get a deeper retrace. This could be, let's turn off those extra fib lines. Don't need them. Could be a setup to get a deeper retrace if we can't hold the 144. Be back down to this 1250 area. BBBY is a meme stuck. Find a resistance at the 144 EMA. Can't break that. Then we're likely to go all the way back down. I was expecting a move down to this 350 area before it did this. Heavily shorted. Watch out. I wouldn't be looking long until it breaks this downtrend line of the highs. Got a long downtrend of highs going. So you'd have to get up to 25 at least before it would start looking something positive. Found resistance right at that 144 EMA, right where I would expect it to. Started retracing. Breaks out above it. That's positive, but then it's got to break this high, these highs around 24-ish. Got to break that to get continuation. See? Yeah, just consolidating right here. Again, held in with some resistance. Little resistance zone right here. Got to break through that. Got to break through the 144 EMA and the roadmap line to get higher prices going. SQQQ is just inverse QQQ. Looks like a downtrend though. Didn't hold on to anything bullish it had set up. Looks like it's going to get some lower prices. Has this long-term trend line going there. So breaks out of this little triangle thing. It breaks up to the upside. It can get back up in here, but breaks down, probably lower low. All right. I can do currency pairs if you throw them up, I'll look at them. I have a short on JPY USD. I did forward NEE. The shadows the 169, 144 EMAs. To answer your question in YouTube, what is the shadow? It's the 144 EMA and the 169 EMA, also called the roadmap line. You want the code? Go to jeffreytrader.com/MRM. All right, lots of levels I put up there. It didn't do the bounce up here. Said it did a big three-wave retrace down here. This is very proportional. Let's see. Yeah, not quite perfectly proportional. Not quite an echo. Cautiously bullish on this right here. Cautiously. Or move up to there. We are higher than this high right back here. This is a potential breakout setup. The target will be 102, extension 114.50. All right. Already did Tesla, already did Mora, already did NVIDIA. Let's see, HCC. Yeah, that's a setup for lower. Broke below the roadmap line, found resistance, extension. How far? Just do it upside down. Initial expectation will be here. Probably not, as long as it holds the support right here at the 1618 at like 12, it's probably not going to go lower low. But if it does get below there and it starts extending, 990 would be the downside target. HCC. All right. XSP puts. I didn't have any XSP puts. XSP spreads, but I don't have any. They are put spreads, but I don't have long puts. All right, GOOG. Yeah, still in the box. Continue sideways. And really, when I say continue sideways, I mean probably going to continue to do this. That's my expectation on Google. I mean, it's done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why not 8, 9, 10? Until it breaks out or breaks down, that's the path. I mean, it's just going to keep doing that. I don't expect it to do anything else. Already did AMD. Quick question regarding the S&P. You indicated it pulled back to the 236 or 382. Yeah. But trouble to the you're getting in the weeds there. It can't overlap the first move up that's where it's in trouble. It's not about the 0.5 or 0.618. It's about, you can pop that up real quick. Jump back up to the S&P. It's not about the 618. It's about where this first move up happened. Then we got a three-wave retrace. If we break below that high right there, that first move up, that puts it in jeopardy to go lower low. That means this whole move up was corrective. And it can still be bullish under a very unreliable pattern, but the odds become that we're going to see a lower low. It's not about the 0.5 or 0.618. It's about, if this is bullish, the classic wave 4 retraces to the 236 or the 382. That's just typical. The 0.5, it can retrace that deep, but if we break below the wave one high right here, then odds are we're going to see lower low. That's the more high probability pattern would be a corrective pattern for a lower low, or that this was a corrective pattern, and we would see an extension lower. And this would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And while we did overlap this low right here, I'm gonna move one down, that it just becomes a sloppy pattern. That's the long and the short of it. My lights are in the floor. Alex, they're still here. They're in the floor. Had to take them down. I was recording something. They needed them to not be shining. I have a fancy new green screen though. Right here. Bouncing everything around. There we go. So fancy new green screen for doing something. Be coming up in the future. All right. Did for Twitter. TWTR. We'll do a few more and wrap this up. So Twitter, finding resistance at the 144 EMA here. Does it hold and go higher, or does it fold and go lower? So what we got on Twitter. DVN, Delta Victor November. Looking for that breakout. Needs to break above this level right here. And that puts you right into the 144 EMA. And there's a little cluster of resistance right here on a lot of energy charts, where you have a gap down, 3 red candles, and a gap down. So I caution that we see resistance if it gets up in that area. So, Uber. Yeah. Potentially trying to get bullish. Needs to break above. Let's get the box. It needs to break above this zone right here. SMR. If you missed anything, pop over to jeffreytrader.com/YouTube. I'll put it up under my name here. And you can go into the live sessions and watch the replay. So SMR, yeah, that's just crazy right there. Looks like I'd be looking for taking profit. Yeah, went right out to the 2618, found resistance, pulled back to the 272. Exactly what we expect. If it doesn't hold there, it's going to come all the way back down here. If that doesn't hold, back down here. If that bounces here, you can see the extension out to the 4236 up there, or from down here. There's SMR for you. All right, last one, MYMD, and then I'll tell you about the local event. Oh, look at that. That actually looks pretty bullish. How high is it going to go? I'd look for it to be stopping right here and getting a retrace. Retrace this whole thing. So caution that we see a move like this before the next big run. And that run will look something like, yep, right there. 950. We get a retrace back to 3 because they move out to 9. Of course, pharmaceuticals can just go crazy. So yeah, so look right here below me, right there, jeffreytrader.com/YouTube. Replay will be active immediately. It's active right now. You can go pop over to that link and click on the live stream and rewind it all the way back to the beginning. So yeah, pharmaceuticals don't follow the Elliott wave stuff as much. So be careful. Alrighty. Like I said, I'm going to give you an offer to come join me in Knoxville. So today I get to share something I'm super excited about because we put together this thing and I want to invite everybody. You know, everybody knows I love Knoxville. I show you pictures of Knoxville every week. You know, every one of these we do, I talk about where it is in town. I love Knoxville. Grew up here, been here for 40-something years, 43 years, I think it is. Well, now's your chance to come visit me. On September 8th and 9th, I'm going to host a special live 2-day workshop, the Knoxville Traders Summit. You're going to get to come here, join me in person in Knoxville, attend 2 full days of live trading. If we find some trades, I'll put them on. If we just talk about, the trading stuff, that's what it'll be. If the market's just not working with us. So day one, market math live trading. We're going to go through Fibonacci, Elliott wave, other technical indicators I use, the new CVD I've been using, explore strategies for setting targets, identifying trade opportunities, predicting reversals, charting, of course, all through the markets. We're going to use live markets. You can learn how to set up the indicators the way I use them. Get me to stand over your shoulder and tell you what to click on. You get all, you can set up your charts just like I do. We're going to master the basics of Fibonacci based trading. Get a refresher if you've been with me before. You can ask me questions live right there. Stop me anytime. We'll be there all day. And if you have questions, I'm right there in person. So, and then day two, we're going to go over the opening bell strategy and beyond. Assuming we get a live trade, we'll do that. Even if it doesn't, I'll walk through the whole process, how the trade setups, how the trade sets up, why I do what I do. We'll get tips and techniques for intraday trading. I'll focus on some income strategies. Maybe you get a preview of the beta strategy and more live trading, more live charting, more Q&A. And as time allows, we'll take anything you want me to go over. I'll do it. So in addition to the live sessions, we're going to enjoy Knoxville together. We'll eat together, explore some of the sites in the city, maybe enjoy a few bonuses that we'll tell you about as things get closer. These are some of the local attractions in the area. If you want to make a weekend of it and go visit the Great Smoky Mountain National Park or UT, take a whiskey tour, Dollywood, one of my family's favorite places there, and Pigeon Forge, and everything in this picture is something I helped build right here. This fountain, this Ferris wheel, like all these restaurants right here. That's the island in Pigeon Forge. I helped build that whole thing. So couldn't be more excited for this event on September 8th and 9th, but space is going to be limited. Opening bell alerts members do have first dibs on access. However, right now, whether you're a member of OBA or not, don't worry about it. I just want to know if you're interested in coming. So in order that we find a hotel that has plenty of space and we can get a space that we can meet in, I need reservations. So I've created a brief survey and you just need to fill it out. The dates are September 8th and 9th. It'll be a huge help if you can fill out this survey. Go to jeffreytrader.com/Knoxville. I'll put it right here below my face too. Go fill out the survey and my team will follow up with you just as soon as we can. We have, right now it's, we haven't set a cost. So I know OBA people get in for free just for being OBA. I don't know that there's any cost for anybody additional. Right now, we just are trying to find out if you're interested in coming. If you're available, you want to come, you're interested, let us know. Some of the great sites around Knoxville in the area here. Got the Great Smoky Mountains, got the island in Pigeon Forge right there. Got Dollywood, Tennessee Theater, where I launched my OBA's opening bell alerts. That's IWM trade. Those members were invited to come here for a 2-day live. So no, it's not during Labor Day. 8th and 9th is Thursday and Friday. It's a live trade, live open market days. And there's the Sun Sphere and the amphitheater that we opened with right there in the top left. Yeah. And if you're watching on the replay, check the link for the script and check the link in the description. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can ring the bell for notifications when I go live again next week. So yeah, it's free except for you got to cover your own travel and hotel. We just need to know how many people are coming. So jeffreytrader.com/Knoxville. Right there under my pretty face, right there on the screen. Go fill out the survey. We just need to know if you're interested in coming. Go fill it out. Go fill out the link. Fill out the link. It's just a quick survey. It doesn't commit you to do anything. It just tells me that yes, you are interested. It doesn't say that you're definitely coming. It's just a yes, you're interested. Trying to get a head count. We need to know how many people are interested in coming so we can pick a place. Any further questions before we wrap this up? Any more? Any more? All right. Well, all righty. So glad to have everybody. Been fun. And if you're watching the replay right over here, check out a video